this week's episode of Rollin Dogs. Thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who's hopped on Facebook and voiced your opinions. I threw up a Facebook poll a couple of weeks ago to ask people what they wanted to see on the roller, and you'll see in this week's Will It Roll what we decided to put on there thanks to this Facebook poll. If you haven't liked the page on Facebook already, the link is below in the video description so you can keep up to date with different promotions, giveaways that we're running on there. So this week on Rollin Dogs, we're going to taste Kogel's Skinless Frankfurters. It doesn't mention in big bold type on here what the main ingredients are, but if you look down in the small type here, it mentions that it's beef and pork. These are made right here in Michigan, so I'm excited to bring a home state Frankfurter here today. We're going to get this cut open and we'll get it thrown on the roller. Of course, first we've got to get the hot dog roller rolling. I still haven't quite figured this out, and I kind of wish I still had the operating manual. We're going to throw that right out the window, though. We're going to go with power. Oh, those rollers are rolling. We're heating on both sides. We're cranked up to 4 on the front and back. And we'll get this cut open, throw it on the roller, and I'll see you in a few minutes when it's time to taste them. After about 13 minutes on the roller here, I believe our Kogel's Skinless Frankfurters are ready for the ultimate test. First thing we want to do is compensate for safety by putting on our heat-resistant glove. Next thing we'll do is crank these rollers down a little bit so we can keep the dogs warm, but not overcook them. We've got a nice plump texture across the board. Again, these are Skinless Frankfurters, made right here in Michigan. We're going to start by selecting 2 dogs, and in the interest of dog diversity, we're going to go front left, back right. We're going to start with our floppiness test. This is my favorite test to do because I get to determine how I think the floppiness plays out. Thanks for hopping in the comments and telling me how you think it should go. Start your own darn hot dog rolling channel. This is our first Kogel Skinless Frankfurter. Our flop test shows that it kind of just flops to pieces there. We'll try another one from this side. Again, these are skinless, so I didn't expect a whole lot of flop out of them. We'll let it cool for a second here in our hand and give it another shake. Still cracks apart. I think the skinless has a lot to do with the fact that they're breaking apart. So let's shake one more just for fun. It takes a decent bit of effort to get it to break apart, even with it being skinless. I wish I had some kind of a flopometer to actually determine how floppy these things are. I bet I have a buddy who could get on that for me. We'll find out. Anyway, floppiness, better than some, worse than others. We're gonna give it a 4. Juiciness, since we had a couple crack open on us here, we'll take a look inside and see just how juicy they are. There's a little bit of juice in the package left over after we took out. Not as much as some of the other dogs. Feels really greasy. Not so much the natural juiciness that we've seen from wieners past. As of right now, it doesn't look incredibly juicy inside of these, but we'll wait until we bite into one to see what we've actually got going on. Kind of middle of the road, maybe lower middle of the road for juiciness here. But let's start with the dog that we said would be chosen. We'll stick that in a bun here. We'll take one from the left side. I'll go with this guy here. These plumped up really nicely, better than I expected. I'm just excited to start creating these dogs. Our classic dog, of course, starts with French's Classic Yellow Mustard. Heinz Tomato Ketchup is going to be our next topping. And for those of you keeping track at home, I had to pick up a new jar of Vlasic Sweet Relish. That's sweet relish, not dill. Brand new jar here. Can you guys hear these dogs whistling? Let's see if I get up really close, if you can hear it. And we've gone from rolling dogs to whistling dogs, just like that. Let's bite into our classic dog here. See what we've got going on Kogel's Skinless Frankfurters, with the 2 primary ingredients being beef and pork. I'm happy with that. We're gonna go raw dog here. Bare bones. We're gonna figure out our juiciness, inside texture, flavor, and mouthfeel categories. Again, just not all that juicy. I expected a little bit better from Kogel's, but it is what it is. You can see inside the dog there. Don't get a whole lot of juices coming out. Still juicier than some other dogs that we've tried. Bar S comes to mind. Juiciness, we'll go with a 5. We'll go middle of the road on juiciness here, because there was still some juice. I'm getting juice popping off of here. The drip tray is a little bit oily from the dogs popping as well. So there is juice in these dogs, unlike some of the other dogs that we've seen with lower ratings in the juiciness category. The inside texture is really just, there's nothing exciting about it. It's not like the dogs that we've tried in the past where there's something noticeable about the texture. There's a little bit more crunch on the outside than I would have expected from a skinless dog, but it's still nothing incredible is what I'm getting at. Because it has that little bit of a crunch and it holds some kind of texture to it, we'll go with 6 for inside texture. Flavor, I'll take another bite. I don't think it's worth my time, but this is one of the most bland dogs I've ever tasted. It's like they forgot there's supposed to be flavor to this. I'm not sure if that's what they're going for, if this is a hot dog for people that don't enjoy tasting things. There's just nothing exciting there. Still better than some. We're gonna go middle of the road again here. We'll give it a 5. For mouthfeel, I still haven't gotten a grasp on this. I'm not entirely sure what to say about the mouthfeel. When I grade the mouthfeel, if I think I'm gonna have a hot dog with great mouthfeel, I just wait and make something up live on the spot as I'm filming. If I think I have a dog that's going to be not so great for mouthfeel, I'll try to think beforehand, how will I address this mouthfeel? This particular dog, I expected good things for mouthfeel. Again, it's got the crunch. It feels like a hot dog in your mouth. I expected good things from this, so I didn't sit down and write anything negative or positive to say about it or think it through. Mouthfeel is, it's average. There's a little bit of squeak to it. I feel greasy after I bite it. It's not like other dogs where it feels like you're eating something delicious. It just tastes like a tube steak. A little bit breakfast sausagey, but outside of that, it's just not all that grand. We're gonna go with a 4 for mouthfeel. So that's it for our Kogel's Skinless Frankfurters. They left a lot to be desired. I expected so much better from them. I've got your scoring here because I'm not a math magician. I'm going to average these out and I'll put the final score right here on the screen. I highly recommend sticking around because this next bit of Will It Roll is something I've been excited to do for a while. Thank you to everyone at the Livery Brewery in Benton Harbor for helping me come up with this idea. I hadn't even thought of it until Simon and Brad kind of tag teamed me with the idea. So stick around, check out this week's Will It Roll. I put popcorn that's still on the cob on the hot dog roller, and you'll just have to wait and see what happens. Thanks again for watching me rate my wiener, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Thanks for sticking around for this week's edition of Will It Roll. I put a quick poll up on Facebook between a couple different items, and the item that won this week was corn on the cob popcorn. Basically, it comes in this neat little vacuum seal package here. I opened one up just for science sake. See, it's just a nice little cob of popcorn. We're gonna put right on the rollers. Comes with this nifty little bag that you're supposed to put it in, and some directions for me. So what it recommends on here is break the seal on the vacuum pack, place the cob in lengthwise position of the popping sack and tightly fold the ends and let it go for 90 seconds. We're gonna throw it on this popcorn roller. I've got our rollers cranked up to 11. We'll get this powered on and we're gonna see what happens. Alright, so it's been about 20-25 minutes since we put this corn on here, and we're not having any luck getting it popping. I'm sure there's some kind of scientific reason behind this that I'm not aware of. So what we're going to try to do to remedy this situation is put the corn into some tin foil, wrap it up, and see if that'll hold heat a little better for it. Well, let's see what happens. see if we can make this pop in the microwave. Alright, thanks for watching this week's Will It Roll. The answer this week of Will It Roll is no. But will it pop in the microwave? Oh yeah. There's Farmer's Popcorn. Throw in Lenexa.